Good morning and welcome to another live edition of Wealth Building Wednesday. Wealth Building Wednesday is a live broadcast focused solely on making sure that we empower, that we ignite the power within each and every one of you to take advantage of the financial opportunities that you have in front of you. This show will be just like the others, 30 minutes of great information. Today's topic is life insurance. And I know it might not be a topic that a lot of us want to talk about, but it is a very necessary conversation, especially when we talk about building our wealth. So welcome again to another live edition of Wealth Building Wednesday. Wealth Building Wednesday is a product of TRHT Selma. TRHT stands for Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation. We're excited each and every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time to bring you great guests from all across the country who are sharing information with you about how we can build our wealth. So welcome today. We have Miss Juanita Knox. She is a insurance sales representative, and we're excited to have her engage in this conversation with. So good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. Excited to have you here. Listen, and in full transparency, I do want to let the audience know that in prior seasons, your former colleague, Lord rest her soul, had been the person who represented your company and the topic of life insurance. And so I want to dedicate this show to her, and I know that she poured into you before she left us. And so we're going to continue. Yes, we are going to continue on and having these conversations, and we're grateful for all of the things that she left us to glean from and to carry on as a legacy. So again, welcome. If you want to share a little bit about yourself, who are you? How many years you've been in the business? Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm Juanita Knox, and I'm originally from Uniontown, but I've been in Selma for almost 20 years now. And I've been working in the insurance company, I say right at 3 years. And as you were saying, Shanae Robinson, she was the one that recruited me. She brought me in. She taught me the game. I loved everything about it. Once I got in, she said, Juanita, I'm going to teach you the game. I'm going to teach you how to do this job right here, because I know you're tired of working at the nursing home, but I thank you. I thank her. I can't thank her enough. Let me say that. I can't thank her enough.
Yes, absolutely. A truly great person. And
Yes.
you are in the same business. You are an insurance sales representative. And I want to start this conversation off, and we're going to take baby steps, right?
Yes.
So what is life insurance exactly, and why is having life insurance important?
Okay, life insurance, it's a very valuable tool to all family and all race. Let me make sure I say that, all race. So there's no specific person, male, female, none of that. Life insurance is a very valuable tool. It helps you. It helps builds a bridge for you and your family in the time of trouble. Life insurance also build cash value, loan values, all of those things that you need. It also help your family, with your medical bills, all of those things. It's a very valuable tool that we all must have. It's a very valuable tool.
Awesome. And so I'm glad you're using the term tool, because
Yes,
so often as we're talking about wealth building on these shows and in other environments, we talk about money being a tool, and life
right.
insurance is a way for us to tap into benefits. So now, what can life insurance, what can it be used to cover?
Okay, I'm gonna use just say for instance, you've been in the insurance for a while and you run into a tight and it builds up cash value. And if your children need college money, hey, if you get behind on your light bill, any form of bills that you need, the whole life policy will help you. You can come and borrow it off of your policy. You can do what necessary need to be done with your personal life. We don't ask those questions what you want with the money. We just, if you got it, we're gonna give it to you. So you can use it
Okay.
for a lot of things, even medical bills.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so now, is there a difference between what we call, or I've heard the term whole life and term life? Because like when you're
Yes,
describing drawing the money off, like does that matter depending on the type of policy you have, the whole life
yes,
versus the term life?
yes, it does matter because whole life is the policy that you can pay up life to 65, life to 85, 20 pay life, but they are whole life policy that builds up cash values. And
Okay.
those the type of policies that you can borrow it off. The whole life policy, you can borrow it off. Now the term policy, now what it do, you cannot borrow it off. It's just what it said it is. It is a term. So if you get a term policy, make sure that you know what term that you are getting it for, because some terms may last 5 years. Some terms might last 65 years. Some term policy might last 100 years. So you have to be very careful of the term policy, but they also a very great a tool too, because it all has a face value. And the face value, it don't build up the cash, but just say whoever the person is that may die.
Hmm.
Um if they got that term policy, they're gonna pay that whatever, if it's 25,000, they're gonna pay that to the beneficial.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So there is a big difference in those policies.
Okay. And so a whole life is actually the policy type that we can, it builds up cash value and we
Yes,
can borrow against. But the term
yes,
life is just the face value. So when a person passes away, the money from that term life policy goes to the beneficiary.
yes, yes.
Okay. So now, does it matter the age at which? And I'm asking this because I'm sure I am not alone in having watched television and seen these commercials, and or in the mail you get these like Gerber life, life insurance policies for babies, and they're telling, hey, as soon as you have a baby, get in life insurance.
Right.
And then you see the commercials from other companies, and that talk about um for folks who are beyond the age of like 65 or beyond the age of 70. So those are, they seem like specialized policies, but my question is again, like, so does it make a difference at the age at which we purchase life insurance?
Now, yes, it really does make a difference.
Okay.
Um, I'll go with the babies. It's always good to go ahead on and get your babies insured. And that's for a long term purpose, because you can get a 20 pay life. And in 20 years, I say a new, if you get a newborn insurance at, I say newborn, 20 years, their insurance will be paid up. They already have a paid up policy. That's a whole life policy. That's something that you don't even have to worry about no more, unless you just want to get additional insurance.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
say that we starting to move to the 25-year-old, like I'm gonna say 17 on up, it get
Mm-hmm.
more and more risky for them now. It get more risky where they asking for paramedics, and when it was easy to get insurance, now it begin to be harder to get insurance now, because now they asking for medical exams. They also asking for blood and urine samples. They also asking um, even for the elderly people, they want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that they're giving you the right policy. So if you a smoker, drinker, and stuff, the Pacific age starts at 15, 17, all the way up,
Okay.
because they are targeting different types of different age brackets. and it's always going to be in a different age bracket because it getting more and more risky now. And so,
Okay.
just say for instance, some may have a medical issue and some people may not. Um, but the insurance company, they want to make sure that they taking the right risk
Mhm.
on the right people. So it
Okay.
so that we offer guarantees issues. The guarantee issue is going to be a little bit higher than the regular policy, but it's also a whole life policy.
Really? Okay, so now guarantee issue, that can be that is a whole life policy, but what does that actually mean? I've heard that term before. Help us know what guarantee issue means.
Guarantee issue is like, just say for instance, if a person is a smoker, drinker, or something like that, bad behaviors. I'm just going to use that bad behaviors.
Okay.
Just and I say diabetes, heart attack, cancer. All of those is guaranteed issues, and we honor those. A lot of insurance company would not honor that. They would actually, have you to
What?
complete the application. They would actually give you, let you do the application and everything, and then they would send their money back to you. Knowing that okay, you already admitted that you had these issues, and you admitted it. They would not deny you, but they'll send a letter to you to deny you. But what we do is, hey, we're gonna ask you those questions straight up. If you say, hey, I have high blood pressure, or
Mhm.
well, I took high blood pressure medicine, and what we do is, if we click that answer right there, they say, well, we can't offer you that policy so that you are qualified for a guarantee issue.
Okay.
So some stuff, because we operate directly out of the doctor's office, the hospital. So when we run our application, the day that we tatted it in,
Mhm.
that's gonna be the day that we're gonna pull what we need from you. And
Oh
you don't have
wow.
to give it to us. It already come directly to us, and the underwriter would send us a little info note back and say, okay, within 6 minutes, and say, well, I'm not able to offer that policy, and then sometimes it'll go straight on through.
Okay.
Sometimes it'll go straight on through. They'll go ahead on and approve that policy. But the main key is to make sure that you get the right policy that you supposed to have, so that it would not be any issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's important. So now I want to ask this question about the amount that we should carry, right?
Okay.
So now is there a minimum amount of coverage that we should have, or is there a maximum? Like, is there an amount that folks can say like, no, we can't even insure a person for that? um or like how little insurance can we carry?
Now, the thing about that is, like, even if I'm writing a policy, I like to start
Hmm.
people off with quotes at 10,000, just so
Okay.
that they can get a feel of how much, they can afford. Because,
Okay.
the average funeral might be $10,000,
Right.
but it's what you getting the insurance for. So those are questions that need to be asked. Um,
Mhm.
what do you want? Do you see a long term in insurance? Do you get the insurance for a burial? What purpose? What your purpose is for the insurance, so that we can get a feel of what to offer you. And with that being said, so I like to start people off with 10,000, just so they can get a feel of the price. And it always going to be according to the age. It's always going to be according to the age and the medical issues. Some people might can afford 10,000. Some people may not. Some people might can afford 100,000. Some people may not. But who am I to say? The only thing I can do is offer it to you, run a quote, give it to you, let you tell me what you can do.
Okay. So, and I'm grateful that you talked about the why that you're getting
Hmm.
an insurance policy. Is it only to cover the burial expense, or does it need to cover, because there are policies that if you are purchasing a home, you can get additional coverage so that should
Yeah,
something happen to you as the provider, that the home is then paid for through that insurance. So there's a lot of considerations that we should make when it comes
right.
to how much and what type of policies. Can we actually have multiple policies at the same company or at different companies? Like, can we carry multiple life insurance policies?
Now, yes, you can cover multiple insurance policies. Depends on where company you at. Some may be rated directly upon if you got insurance with my company or you got insurance with someone else's company. Depends on what the situation is. Uh, Sometimes they prorate it. So if just in case if something happened or whatever, I'm just gonna use if somebody need a medical bill or something like that. And if
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have the money, the insurance company may catch it, that, okay, they got insurance over here, with this other company, and they got insurance right here. And what they may do is see how long this person been in this insurance. Once they
Mm-hmm.
look in there, they do the parable to it. Once they do the parable and they may prorate it, and then sometimes they go ahead and pay the whole thing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Well, you are certainly
So if
teaching us some things today, honey. Listen.
yes, yes,
Okay, so
yes,
we can have multiple policies. It depends on the company and what their rules are around
right,
how to have
right.
multiple policies. And then when
That's
it
right.
comes to paying out, you said that it just really depends on the length, the age of the policy and how the
Yes.
companies work. I guess the insurance companies would then just have to work with each other, right?
Yeah, they have to work with each other. Once the claim go in, the insurance company, all you do is put the claim in. When you put the claim in, if we ask you for more information,
Mhm.
we expect for you to give us the information that we need so that we can go forward with the claim. A lot of people don't understand that the longer you prolong the claim, the
Mhm.
it takes. So you have to. If I say, "Hey, I need such and such information," that means go ahead on, give it. If you can get it, go ahead on and give it, so that we can take it and move forward.
Okay.
Because
So
it
now,
prolongs, as long as you hold information, the longer it takes your claim settle.
so now in your experience, like is there a limit, like let's say the person someone passed say 6 months ago and I still haven't produced the documentation that you all have been requesting. Like, is there a limit to which, somebody can say, well, it may take them a year or so. Um and like, will the policy still pay out? Like, is there a limit that the company says, now wait a minute, now this man been gone 3 years, what are you doing?
Well, yes, the company will pay out because a lot of
Okay.
times they do send us a email. They would send it to the agents, the manager, and
Okay.
say, "Hey," and they also would send it out to the beneficiary and say, "Hey, we got a notification that such a person, has deceased. So we're trying to get in contact with whoever the beneficiary is."
Okay.
And we want to go on and do the claim because there's a lot of people out there that with money still sitting waiting on somebody to do the claim on.
What?
Yes, there's a lot of money that still sit out there that family members had not did the claim on due to the fact that we can't locate the beneficiaries.
So can you be a beneficiary and not know?
Yes, yes, a lot of it go
Oh,
on.
wow.
Yes, we see that a whole lot.
And so I want to ask about beneficiaries. Like, so what actually, because we're using a lot of different terms. So what actually is a beneficiary?
A beneficiary is the person that the policy holder, the payer, the insurer, they list as the next person to handle their responsibilities after they deceased, they die. And
Okay.
so the beneficiary, they stand in the gap, they handle all the odds in the end. If the money left, the money go to them.
Okay. And so now when we're considering or enrolling in an insurance plan or insurance policy, who are the recommended beneficiaries, or who are the typical folks that people tap to say, okay, this is the person that I want to be in charge of my estate, so to speak?
Well, we always recommend them to get someone that they trust.
Okay.
We don't want them to just throw anybody on their policy. We may ask, hey, do you have any kids? How many kids do you have? Sometimes we would suggest them to do two beneficiaries, a primary and a contingent. And sometimes we may just recommend them to do a primary. You can do two primary and you can do two contingent. So if in the
Right.
case of something happened to either one of the family members, it'll fall in the next place in line. So it's
Okay.
always good to have multiple beneficiaries.
Now, and that's smart. I was about to say because there
Yeah,
I've known of situations where multiple family members have been, say, involved in a car accident, and the people who might have been assumed to be the beneficiary, you know, if that person is gone as well, then what happens? So to have multiple beneficiaries or a line of folks that will follow down is super
right,
smart. So now when we
right.
are looking and shopping around for life insurance, what should we be looking for? Like the difference between companies, like what should we be looking for when it comes to shopping for life insurance?
First, you want to make sure that the company gonna meet your needs, but it's always gonna last on you. So you have to be truthful. Let me say that first, because if you come to me and ask me for insurance and you're not truthful to me, I might just sell you anything. And I'm just using me for an example because who's a better person? I might just sell you a policy. But you need to understand exactly what are you asking for. If you just asking for a policy just to bury you, then
Mhm.
we're gonna give you just that. If you asking for a policy that's gonna build wealth and that's gonna have money income or something left over, then we're gonna give you that. So you have to be more sure about what you are asking for. You got to know. I can give you all the options, but I don't want to just take your money and not letting you understand what you are getting. I want to make sure that I'm giving you something that you really, really need.
Absolutely. And so and I'm really grateful for you saying that. And I want to encourage anyone who is watching or listening that if you are shopping around for insurance, for life insurance in particular, that's what the show is about today. Make sure that you are working with a company and or agent that is meeting your needs policy wise, which is what Ms. Knox just said, but also an agent that is actually responding to you, right? So if you want to
Right.
talk to a person, because there are some insurance companies you can basically do everything online. You never have to come into contact with a person, right? You make your payments online, what have you. But if you know that you want that personal touch, right? You want to be able to
That's
call
right.
your
Yes.
agent and ask questions, then that means that you may need to go with a different kind of company, like a company like Kemper Life, which is where Ms. Knox is,
Right.
or there are other reputable insurance companies that will provide life insurance. But if you need that personal touch, make sure that you're getting an agent. And even if you like the company, you may just not work well with that person, right?
That's
So
right. That's right.
find the agent that is comfortable for you. And
Right. Right.
so what during the process, because you talked with us about a little bit earlier about the actual process, and that there could be some blood work necessary, some urine samples and what have you. What should we expect from beginning to end, like during the process of signing up for a life insurance policy?
Like I said, first, you have to be truthful. You got to
Okay.
be truthful to what you are asking for. If you doing any form of drugs or anything like that, to avoid the paramedics exams and stuff like that, just be truthful
Mhm.
to the question. That's what it always going to boils down to. Just be truthful to the question, because even though that the insurance may seems like it's a little too high for you,
Mhm.
even if the insurance look like it's a little too high for you, still make sure that you get the right policy. Still make sure you get the right one. Just say you get the insurance, I'll say, 2 months ago, and
Mhm.
you died in a car accident. That's an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Most insurance company gonna honor that car accident.
Mm-hmm.
So if you die from a drug related situation or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? They're gonna investigate, and then 9 out of 10 they may deny.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But if you've been in the insurance, let me just also say this right here. We also have a contestability period, waiting period, elimination period, which in all of those is 2 years. So
Okay.
that's the reason why I made the statement that if you die accidental, we have to honor that. But if you've been in the insurance, just say if you want to commit suicide and you say, well, you know what, I'm going to leave my family something, and you go get insurance policy, well, the insurance company put a stop to that. That's what that 2 year contestability period, elimination period, all of that got something to do with, because years ago people used to get insurance and then go
Okay.
back 2 months and commit suicide and stuff. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why all of those 2 year periods came in. So out of
Okay.
all understanding, I like to get that understanding. And that's what it was all about. Some people did not know that they had insurance on them. So it was always a situation after a situation that caused the insurance company to cover themselves. As
Right.
well as
Now
you
wait
want
a
to
minute now. Cause now you just said something like, how can you not know that you have an insurance policy on you? Like, don't you have to sign documents to say that this is your insurance policy?
Yes, yes. So starting with all insurance companies, a 15-year-old can sign for their own insurance policy, but they can't be the
Okay.
payer of it. And they
Okay.
can't be the owner of it. Now
Right.
they can
Okay.
come to me all day long and say, hey, I don't know if my mama got insurance on me or not, or my dad, but I want to put insurance on myself. The
Mm-hmm.
first thing I'm gonna ask is, how old are you? If you say
Mm-hmm.
you 15, I'm gonna say, well, okay, I'll tell you what, let me talk to your parent. Now I
Mm-hmm.
can go through the process, but the parents still got to be there to sign off.
Okay.
And so a lot of people did not know that they had insurance on them. Just say we was out collecting money one day and say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, well, I seen your information and your insurance, and I just want to come pick up your payment. And they say, I ain't got no insurance. And I'm like, okay, what you mean you don't have insurance? You've been in an insurance company for 2 to 3 years, maybe 10 years, however many years they've been in insurance. A lot of people don't know that they have insurance on them. Yes.
Wow.
So it's like a lot of things that go hands in hands with insurance. And we have to be very mindful of it. Yes.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I would definitely want folks to take away is to, or even like, let me ask you this question. Is there a way for people to find out besides calling every single insurance company, like whether someone has a policy that has been taken out on them, or if there is money that they have been a beneficiary and they are totally, like, they don't know that they're a beneficiary? Can people find out about that without calling every single insurance company?
Um, I can say this right here. If grandmama, auntie, whoever, was with an insurance company, it
Mm-hmm.
always best to find out
Okay.
who was the beneficiary, even if we can't give information. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's
Uh-huh.
still, because if you run across an old policy somewhere in the house or a premium receipt card, it's always good to go back and look at it and see what is what. Hey, you got the policy number. If you got any information toward that person, make sure that you look through it, because you just may be the beneficial.
Wow.
I can use this for an example. My mom died in 2005,
Hmm.
and voila, a check came in the mail in my name, and I'm wondering what the world going on. And when I found out that my mom had labeled me as the beneficial, that was kind of strange to me, because I'm like, but she ain't said nothing,
Wow.
and it was shocking for me.
Wow.
So we have to be very mindful, that, hey, if you used to grandmama, auntie, uncle, whoever having insurance, and it don't matter if they had it umpteen years ago, still always be on guard, to make sure you look and see what's going on, because some of them may have had policies on you.
Mm.
And we run across that. And we run across that a whole lot. Um, I have insurance on my grandkids and my children and stuff, but I make sure that they know about it. I make sure
Right.
they know about it so that in the case of something happening, they will already know that, okay, well, my grandmama had this already. My mama had this already. And some of them got two and three policies. But it's always good, just to be mindful, don't wait till something happen to try to
Yes.
find out. It's best to try to find out now. So let me make sure I say that it's always best to find out now. Don't wait till something happens.
And I appreciate you for saying that, because as time winds has really, look, 30 minutes flies by, but as we wind down, I just want to remind folks of some of the things that you shared with us, that it is always best to have a trusted person to be on an insurance policy for you as the beneficiary. You want to consider why you want the policy. So if you're shopping around for life insurance, or you're just thinking about it, what is your
Right,
why? Do you just want to make sure that your burial expenses are covered, or do you have some debt that may need to be covered? God forbid,
right.
you meet an untimely death, right? So let's find out the why. And the earlier we are insured, the
Yes,
better.
that's
So
right. That's
getting
right.
our children insured is a great thing. Now, how
That's
can
right.
we find our way to you? Because if we want to know more information, it's always important. We always try to make sure that our viewers and our guests, and our listeners are able to reach out to the people that we have on. So how, if I want to know more about life insurance, how can I get to you?
Now you can come to Kemper Life on Highland Avenue. It's 805 Kemper Life. You're on Highland Avenue. You can go there. You can ask for any agent, or just say, "Hey, I want to speak to Juanita. My name is Juanita Knox," and they will give you my information. They will give you my business card. They will give you my phone number. Whatever it is that you need, we got everybody. Anybody in the office can help you. But if you want a
Okay.
specific person, ask for Juanita Knox. Here I am.
Awesome. Well, Juanita, I just want to thank you. We're definitely going to have you back, because this has been a super informative conversation.
Yes,
If you did not have the details about life insurance, honey, this is the show to start off your shopping, right? So
that's
if you're
right. That's right.
considering the need, that you and your family may have for life insurance, make sure, if you just logged in, go back to the beginning of this video and make sure that you're able to know the ins and outs before you go in to talk to an agent. Figure out your why. Who is going to be your beneficiary, and why is that person going to be your beneficiary? Who's the
That's right.
backup beneficiary? Right? And we talked about all of that in this little short period of time. So, but we definitely got to have you back, because there's more, much more information that we need to share about life insurance. So again,
Yes.
thank you for
Thank
your
you.
time. It has been a pleasure, and I look forward to having you back on another Wealth Building Wednesday.
All right. All right. It was
Awesome. You
actually
have a
good for
great
me
rest of
being
your
here.
day.
All right. You too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anytime. Listen. Talking about wealth is a part of what I love to do. If you know me well, then honey, listen. I'm not just gonna be the person that sits at the table to eat. I want to invite other people to eat with me, and it is always a pleasure to welcome you to Wealth Building Wednesday. We air every single Wednesday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and the audio is rebroadcast on our media partner WBFZZ 105.3, 1 o'clock on Wednesday. We thank you so much for tuning in and look forward to seeing you on next week's Wealth Building Wednesday.